back to the evening edition of the Bleav in Iowa State podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Carter.
And I'm your host, Cody Vanciolello.
Cody, first, we're going to talk about the game that happened today. How did the women's game go?
Though this was a complete game from the ladies. Obviously, there was a lot of pomp circumstance going, given it was senior night. Obviously, celebrating the career of Emily Ryan, who no doubtably is going to go down as an all-time great at Iowa State. Just her impact on and off the court, just like what she's done for the Iowa State community and the team as a whole with her leadership, it's something that like is going to forever be like known. Like it's just gonna be her legacy is gonna live on, and her impact is gonna be felt like like for all time at Iowa State. So with that said, this was a really good game for Iowa State. They played pretty well all around, and this was a big win for the Twister sisters as they got their marquee win, which is something that they have been missing from the resume for a while or throughout the entire year. They beat number 14 Kansas State with a final score of 85-63. So this wasn't just a win for Iowa State, but they did it in a convincing way, and it was a three-headed monster for Iowa State. Audie Crooks led the way with 36 points and 10 rebounds, so that's a double double for her. Emily Ryan put in 17 points and 10 assists for a double double herself, and then Kelsey Jones had another really nice game with 10 points and 3 rebounds. So just a sort of really just a lot of outside noise and just all the celebrations, whatnot. But a great win for Iowa State. They get that marquee win, and I think this win pretty much secures them a spot into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, this definitely cements a spot for them. But finished by the ladies after that quick run in March and in definitely and in February. It's really good on them that they were able to find a way to get this done. Let's see now. Let's see what they can do in Kansas City.
Yeah, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the tournament should start next week, if I'm correct. I'm gonna take a look here. I'm finding it. So I believe Iowa State they are locked into the 7th seed, if I'm correct. So they'll be playing, I believe, Wednesday. Let's see here. Yeah, so this will be okay. This is from Tommy Birch on the Des Moines Register.
Hmm.
Iowa State will take on the winner of the 10 seed Cincinnati versus 15 seed Arizona State game. So that'll be on Thursday night at 5:30 at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. So they got themselves a top 8 seed. So this let's take a look here, and I think for Iowa State, it would be a really nice bonus for them to go on a run in Kansas City, get a couple wins, and who knows, maybe you can find yourselves maybe possibly like a 6 seed.
Yeah, I mean, the more wins that you have, the better it'll be for you, for Iowa State. So I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing and following this women's team. Also, fans, if you're heading down there, make sure to head down to Kansas City to support your women's team. Like you said, they play on Thursday at 5:30. So
Hmm.
thank you for talking about the women's team, Cody. And we're gonna really go into this Arizona game, man. The Cyclones were on fire. Iowa
Yes.
State wins this one 84-7. It was a definite B to A, and it was basically like Iowa State was within arm's length this entire game.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. The final score was 84-67. So you gave Arizona more points than they
What did I
actually did.
say?
You said 77.
Oh shoot, sorry, my bad. 84-67, my bad, yo.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, this was just Iowa State. They were just on fire from the start. Obviously, they responded well. In the press conference, Mila Momcilovic had noted like just how unacceptable and embarrassing the loss to Oklahoma State was. They knew it. Everybody knew it. So they had a really physical, tough week in practice to really correct those mistakes. And it really showed. It really showed in this game's Arizona. Obviously, we see if you're watching the Twitter or the YouTube, or you'll be watching the YouTube, you saw Tyrese Halliburton and George Niang in attendance. This game against Arizona was the game where Tyrese Halliburton had his Olympic banner unveiled at Hilton Coliseum for his contributions on Team USA in the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics. So a lot of celebrations, a lot of things to celebrate at Iowa State. Also, they celebrated Tamin Lipsey officially holding the all-time career steals record at Iowa State, passing Monte Morris. So there's a lot of celebration and hype going into this game, and obviously, with Arizona beating Arizona again, the fans and the players they want to get back at Arizona after what happened in Tucson, where
Right.
everybody knows that Caleb Love shot that sent the game to overtime, and from there, ever since that day, I think the players they wanted to get theirs back on Arizona, and certainly they did.
Oh yeah, it was that energy the entire game, and I mean, even some of the Arizona fans I was talking about before the game, they're like, yeah, they're like, this is not gonna be good. Like they
I
already knew.
I mean, this reminds me of when Tommy Lloyd, after the first game in Tucson, I think he came out and opened his statements by saying, yeah, when we go to Hilton Coliseum, they're gonna have something for us," and we did.
Hmm.
Tommy Lloyd, I think he was just like almost speechless, just with how much we gave to Arizona, how much of the business we gave to them.
Yeah, man, it was a beautiful performance, and like the fact, like in the first half, man, 9 of 13 from three.
Hmm.
I mean, you had Milan going off yesterday, 17 points, 5 of 10 from the field, three from the line. I think he was like 4 of 6 from three. I think
He was 4-7 from
four of
three.
seven from three.
So yeah, he was our leading scorer. So it's nice to see. Not too far behind him was Taman Lipsey with 15 points. Perfect from the free throw line, 2 of 3 from three, and had 8 assists. So Taman Lipsey was able to distribute the ball and get it to the guys who were hot, and 8 guys were able to knock down their shots. So that was just a great showing, and he adds a couple more steals. So he's really building on that steals record. So I think by the end of his career at Iowa State, there's going to be no one that can get within touching distance of Tatum Lipsey's steal record. I don't see it.
I completely, dude, I agree that thing's gonna be so untouchable. Nobody's gonna be able to hit that. Really good game by him yesterday, and really just an overall like Heisey coming off the bench with 12 points. I mean, if you look at our bench production, our bench gave us 34 points
Hmm.
yesterday,
Yeah,
or
and this
32 points.
yeah,
Yeah, not 34. My bad.
34, yes. Yeah, 34 points. And I mean, that's something that TJ really complimented was the fact that we were able to get this production off the bench. And he's really liking just what Chadfield does, what Heisey does, what Curtis Jones does for Iowa State. And I mean, Chatfield, dude. There was a play where I genuinely thought he looked like Blake Griffin. I thought he was just gonna posterize whoever that Arizona defender was. I really wish that poster went down because that would have been instantly framed at Hill Coliseum. That would have
Was
been
that the
instantly
one?
framed.
Was that the dunk that he missed?
Yeah, that was the dunk he missed.
Oh man, I wish he would have converted.
I
Cause
know.
man, he was about to yam it on his head. I'm like, oh,
Dude, I mean, this is the second time now where Branson Chatfield has gone for a yam at Hilton Coliseum and hasn't been able to connect it because the first time was against Kansas where he was trying to go over Hunter Dickinson and KJ Adams. And I mean, I said like he literally looks like Blake Griffin. He looks like he's doing his best Blake Griffin impersonation with the way he goes up for those dunks. I'm like at
yeah.
some point he's going to get one of these posters. Like I just don't know when. I don't know who the victim is, but who? Oh God, I was just so ready for that. Like mm, that. Oh, that would have probably blown the roof off Hilton so much that you had to install a new one.
No, definitely. And then we see the return of Keyshawn Gilbert. He's getting his legs back under him. He
Mhm.
had 6 points, 2 of 4 from three. I think it was he struggled a little bit turnover wise, but that's sort of to be expected when you're going to get your legs under you when you haven't played in a few games. So I mean, with him, I think it's just going to be just with repetition. Um, Getting through these last two games. But I will say I do think that Brandon Chatfield needs to be in the starting lineup, man.
Interesting.
I feel like at least with him, like the offense is more like fluid because for some reason, Deshaun Jackson just is struggling. Like like yes, he is a good he is like a great scorer, but I Bleav like Brandon Sheffield gives us a lot more energy. You coming off the bench, but like I think he'd be a solid in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely that conversation has definitely happened in the locker room, and I mean, who knows? It might be possible because for senior night, Branton Chatfield is going to be one of the two. Like he's going to be one of the seniors that are leaving. So who knows? Maybe he'll get inserted in the starting lineup with the way he's been performing. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you look at the way like he cleans up the glass, offensive rebounds, but like he continues to get those like offensive boards. He gives us those second chance points, which has been really crucial. And it's going to be really crucial coming down the stretch to get those second chance opportunities. Um, One thing I need to say about this game, oh boy, the fouls were just um
Oh,
wow. Wow. Let's say 42 fouls combined between the two teams. I feel like there were times where they were a little trigger happy with it, and there was a point in the first half where Arizona was in the double bonus before they had even committed 5 fouls against Iowa State. I remember watching that, and that was just ridiculous. I was like, "Jeez!" It
it
almost
was
felt like you noticed like on a couple plays for Keyshawn Gilbert, like he did have a lot of turnovers, but there were a couple times where I think Keyshawn Gilbert generally got mugged, and they don't call anything.
it was unreal, dude. Like I was like, why aren't we getting it? I'm like, we're up by a lot, thank the Lord, but like we're not getting any type of calls. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, so this is like if I saw some people like say, "Oh, Iowa State has a home whistle." Well, you don't. We don't really. We never have a home. We don't really have a home whistle. I say for Falcon, like they're either 50-50 or more like uh 60-40. That's where I look at it. Iowa State rarely gets a home whistle. When they do, it's gonna be followed up by like a bunch of other calls or whatever. But I mean, anyways, the fact that Iowa State had to deal with that and they still were winning this game convincingly, it just shows just the mental toughness that Iowa State has.
Yeah, it was just a great night shooting. We're looking at look at the numbers: 27, 54, 50% from the field, 11 of 21 from three, and then a great night at their free throw line, almost shooting 83%.
Yeah. And this we were going up against a team that does really good at shooting free throws. If you look at Arizona,
Yeah,
they went 25 to 27 for the free throw line. So we were doing what we could to keep up with their free throw shooting. Like I mentioned, Taman Lipsey was perfect from the free throw line. Curtis Jones went 5 of 6. Milan went 3 of 4. Joshua Jefferson went 6 of 8. So pretty solid day at the free throw line for the guys to keep up with Arizona's almost perfect like free throw shooting. And boy, we were in. I mean, I was sitting in the student section, obviously, and boy, we were in Arizona's head. Let's say KJ Lewis. Oh man, I was like, the people behind me and next to me. Oh my god, we were in his head. And what's also funny is there an RJ Davis chant broke out at some point in the second half of the game. And I was like, oh no, they did not. We did not just break out the RJ Davis chant. Now, if you're not familiar with the story why RJ Davis was being chanted, like I just mentioned, Caleb Love and RJ Davis used to be teammates at North Carolina. They were both a part of that North Carolina squad that was an 8 seed and went to the national championship and fell just short to the 1 seed Kansas Jayhawks a couple years ago. Well, let's say there was a love triangle between RJ Davis, his girlfriend Deja Kelly, who played basketball in North Carolina, and Caleb Love, and things went downhill from there. And ultimately, Caleb Love was almost excommunicated from North Carolina, and he found himself in Arizona. And speaking of Caleb Love, man, what a day
bro,
to pray on his
oh,
downfall.
dog, 2 of 15 from the field, 2 of 10 from three. He had a rough night, man.
See, this is what happens when you can't just be shooting buzzer beater full court shots in the McHale Center during a whiteout at 9:30. Nah, he came in as I was wanting to give it the business, and like we gave him the business. He could not get anything going against Iowa State. Jaden Briley and KJ Lewis were really the main ones that could really do anything. But outside of that, everybody else was just on lockdown.
Yeah, it was just an excellent defensive performance. Like this is the team that everybody sees that Iowa State is when they're at full strength. Obviously, because it goes back to a stat that everybody likes to use that when everybody is healthy, Iowa State is one of the best teams in college basketball.
Right.
Um, but we need to go and take a look at the schedule. We're gonna wrap up the talk from this game, but we need to look at the schedule from Saturday and today because there were some key games that helped Iowa State. Now, obviously, we're gonna look at bracketology too, and then with ending with a look at the BYU game, but. It was a big Saturday in college basketball, man. Let's look at these. Let's break down these scores. First matchup, we had Auburn going on the road to Lexington and handily beating Kentucky on the road. Miles Kelly leading the way with 30 points for Auburn.
Yeah. I mean, this is just continuing to prove that Auburn is, in fact, the number one team in the country. And I mean, they've won the regular season outright SEC championship. So there's no doubt in my mind that Auburn is going to be the number one overall seed. There's nobody else in the country is dominating the way that Auburn is um, in college basketball. So I wouldn't be surprised if Auburn gets that number one overall seed come like selection Sunday.
Yeah, Cody, did you happen to see their celebration after the end of this game?
Oh, I didn't. Oh no, I didn't see it. Wait, what happened?
So basically, one of our favorite phrases that we like to use in this show. They were doing that at the end to the fans.
No,
They had a bell and like whoosh.
no
They
way,
were doing
no,
that to the Kentucky
no,
fans. I was
no.
like, this
That
is
is
so
so.
disrespectful, but I
That
am
is
here
so
for it.
petty. In Rupp Arena, I what? No.
You gotta look it up, bro. It's hilarious. It is the funniest thing. I'm like, this is so disrespectful,
Oh
but
no,
I
I
am
found it.
here.
No, I found it. Aaron Torres on Twitter. I've seen the celebration. Oh my god. Oh my god. No. Was that Jedi Broom? I wonder was that Pettiford in there somewhere?
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And then who was number 13? I don't remember his name, but
Oh, here, let me see if I can find it on the roster. But dude, I knew I had to tell you about that because I was like, oh, Cody is gonna get a kick out of this.
dude, I'm reading so many of the replies are saying like act like you've been there before. Like they're criticizing Auburn for like this. And then one guy said their average age is like 23 or 24. So yeah, like
Oh, it was Miles Kelly
oh
that
Miles
leading
Kelly.
scorer.
That makes sense. Miles Kelly. Okay, that makes sense. If anybody's gonna do it, it's Miles Kelly. But yeah, like the criticism mostly is like for Auburn is like just because of how old they are. But I mean, I guess when you walk into somebody's trap and beat them the way you did, you kind of earn the right to do such. But yeah, that's just me. Like, if
Yeah,
you don't want that to happen, it's simple. Don't lose to them by what? Double digits. It's as simple as that.
it's as simple as that.
All right.
Um,
So let's see. Duke put up triple digits against Florida State. Nothing really to write home about.
yep,
Florida getting a almost a 20-point win against Texas A&M. That's going to help Iowa State a bit when it comes to the 2 seed line. And then Florida's case for a 1 seed as well. So
yeah.
win-win for you.
Win-win for me. I'll take it. I look and once we get into bracketology, because I believe they just got updated today. I
Yeah, I
think we're
think.
gonna like what we see.
Yeah. Let's see. Houston for the second year in a row wins the outright regular season Big 12 title. I mean,
Congrats to the Cougs.
yeah. I mean, man, they are just dominating. Like they've come into the Big 12 and just dominated. So what a great thing for them. Tennessee able to stun Alabama at the last second. I remember it was like Marshek or whatever. I don't remember his name,
Yeah,
but able to like he basically in those last like 2 minutes or so, he basically willed Tennessee to this win because he was doing it all. He grabbed an offensive rebound off a missed free throw. He basically stopped Mark Sears from getting the basketball, so he was doing it all. And for him to hit the buzzer beater like to win the game for Tennessee, I mean that guy was just what a day, what a defining game for him.
Yeah, I mean that's I guess a great thing for Tennessee. Tennessee is knocking on the door
Um,
of probably in the one seed.
I mean, yeah, I think they basically have. I think they might have swapped with Alabama on that one seed.
Yeah, I think Alabama went down to the two line.
uh, then you had St. John's continuing to wreck shop in the Big East. I mean, I don't want to play them. I do not want to run
I
against them.
don't want St. John's, and yeah, if we play them, it'll probably hopefully it's like in the Elite Eight or something like that. But like,
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't want
want to
any
face
part of
them.
St.
Yeah,
John's. And St. John's, with that win, I believe clinched the Big East for the first time in 40 years. The
yeah.
last time they won it was 1985. So
Wow.
congrats to St. John's.
Yeah, Rick Pitino has got it going in New York City. So great for them. Texas Tech walks into Allen Fieldhouse and gets only their second all-time win against the Jayhawks, I believe, because I saw a graphic prior to the game that Texas Tech was 1-22 all time at Allen Fieldhouse. So let's correct me on that, but I believe that was their second win. And I mean, Texas Tech just they got it done, and boy, oh boy, I know that a lot of the stories with Texas Tech and how they played, but the aftermath of what like with Kansas, because Kansas is the much bigger brand. That the main story is going to be more with Kansas, and oh boy, that statement from Bill Self after the game. Oof.
Ugh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that I mean, it's just I don't know. I think this is the worst Kansas team that we have ever seen. I think
Yeah.
probably since we've ever been alive.
Yeah.
And also, we have to address this. Like at the end of the day, like I understand that we're passionate fans, and that now that these cosplayers get paid, that you think you can say whatever you want, man. But like throwing out like racial slurs and stuff, and then saying that you're gonna kill somebody because they keep missing shots or not playing well, that has no space in this. So like y'all need to stop doing that. Like at the end of the day, it's a freaking game, man.
Yeah. I mean,
That's my
yeah.
soapbox for this.
Yeah, I mean, this is like I'm reading. Yeah, it was Zeke Mayo. It went all over Twitter after the game. Zeke Mayo had put out a couple of like screenshots of his like Instagram DMs after the game, and my thing is like what I try to like get is like at the end of the day, it's stupid. Like it's such a dumb thing to do. Like why? Like these at the end of the day, these are just college kids. Yes, with Kansas, like it to Kansas fans, to diehard Kansas fans, successful basketball is almost a blood right for them because they've never experienced anything to this level of terrible. So to them, this just feels like an insult, a spit in the face of everything that Kansas basketball stands for, and they feel insulted. So, for like their anger is like there, but it just put at the end of the day, I don't care. Like it's never like justified to be DMing players like death threats and
Yeah, that or be
things like that.
racist. Like that's so stupid. That's no place, man.
Yeah,
There's no excuse for that. And now,
yeah,
like, being angry, I can get that, but
yeah.
like crashing out like that, there ain't no way.
Yeah, and I mean, this is like I'll see if I could read the full statement from Bill Self following the game against Texas Tech. So this is the full statement from Coach Bill Self on Kansas's basketball Twitter. Says here the game today was a very good college basketball game. We played a very good team and we got beat. We had some individuals have exceptional individual games. We had some maybe not play up to the standard they set for themselves. But everyone on our team, coaches included, myself, more than anyone, had opportunities to impact the game. A play here or there that could have been the difference in the game over the course of 40 minutes. Texas Tech made more plays than we did. We competed. We tried. We came up short, and I'm proud of their efforts, and I'm also proud of their preparation to be ready for the game. We haven't had the overall year that we had hoped for ourselves, nor the year that many other people have expected, but it hasn't been from a lack of caring. I can do a lot of things better. We could we all could do a lot of things better. but I'll roll with these guys every day and be proud of it. Any criticism about the team should be directed at me. I'm the head coach. I'm looking forward to seeing how we bounce back against a terrific Houston team on Monday. Then, after that game, I'll look forward to see how we respond to a terrific Arizona team on Saturday. This is the most important time of the season, and this is the time where we need to be better. But we also need to be focused on basketball, not things being said outside of basketball that have absolutely zero merit. So that's the full statement from Bill Self, and that can be found on Kansas's basketball Twitter.
Yeah, what a dark cloud over Lawrence right now, man.
The, I mean, let me. I'm just this. I don't know. It feels like the mystique of the fog, at least right now, is just it's gone. Like,
It's gone. Yeah, it's unreal. Like it's just gone. I haven't
yeah,
ugh.
yeah. It like like Allen Fieldhouse used to be a place where no, like you don't ever want to play. Like you knew you were in for a long day. But now it just feels like another one of those venues where you can like it's winnable. You don't
Hmm.
feel like you have to do so much to try to win. You can play your game and win.
Well, it used to be able to have to beat them and the refs, but yeah, now it's just like, oh, if we go in there, play our game, don't turn the ball over, don't give them a chance to, get up and feel good about themselves, we can beat them, and that's exactly what has happened this year.
Right.
What teams coming into the fog?
Hmm.
So enough about that game. We're going to look at the next game. Virginia or Clemson goes on the road to Charlottesville and gets a big win against Virginia.
Yep, Clemson continue to take care of business. I mean, there's not much I see out of the ACC, but Clemson and then later Louisville, those are two solid teams that I think could make a run to the second weekend, and maybe if the cards fall right, they could find themselves in the Elite Eight. Especially if, for Clemson, they could find themselves in the Elite Eight again, and maybe this time have a chance to go to the Final Four if the cards fall right. But right now, from what I'm seeing out of the ACC, it's Duke's conference to lose. Like I
Basically.
see no one outside of Duke that can really contend for the title.
No, I completely agree, man. It's just going to be crazy. But man, this game was amazing. Vanderbilt getting another quality win at home, man. Vanderbilt beating Missouri in overtime 97-93. Chris Manning, the lead guy with 23 points for Vanderbilt. And our good old friend Caleb Grill for Missouri, the leading scorer with 28 points for Mizzou.
Yeah, I mean Vanderbilt continues to really keep themselves alive in the bubble with these marquee wins. Like I think Vanderbilt's going to find themselves in a really nice spot come March. The
Oh,
way
yeah,
they're playing, the way they're getting these wins, and let's see what they do with it.
definitely. Um, we're gonna look at some other scores. Louisville gets a big win at home. All right, yeah, gets a big win at home over Pittsburgh. Chucky Hepburn, the lead man, with 37 points. Chucky Hepburn, if you remember, we played him a few years ago, and he was on that Wisconsin team in 2021-2022 season where we beat them in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Go further down. Marquette gets a win on the road at
Yep.
Georgetown. David Joplin with 17 points. St. Mary's continues to basically run the West Coast Conference. Gets a 10-point win over Oregon State. Mississippi State is finding themselves in a solid spot with a win over LSU, and then BYU is on a hot. They're on a heater. This is their sixth straight win, and they're going to be the team that like we Iowa State's going to prepare for on Tuesday. We're dealing. They're going to deal with Iowa State. They got to deal with BYU, who can shoot the lights out. This is like the same team that they dealt with last year. And if you
Yeah.
remember when Iowa State visited the Marriott Center, BYU essentially turned into the prime Golden State Warriors who just couldn't miss a three. They could chuck up just about a three from anywhere around the perimeter, and it would likely go in.
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. I am nervous for Tuesday night's game. It's gonna be a raucous atmosphere. Um, yeah, that's gonna be a heck of a game.
For sure.
So there's not really any other games on Saturday that catch my eye unless you see any. But I want to look at Sunday because Sunday also had some other matchups. So we're gonna look at today's matchups and see what happened.
Yeah. And a couple of these matchups do have implications for Iowa State in terms of their seeding. You look at the top one right there, that top 11 matchup between Wisconsin and Michigan State. Obviously, Iowa State is among like the teams fighting for a 2 seed. So to see Michigan State ultimately get the win over Wisconsin, I think that's going to help Iowa State in terms of their seeding. So that knocks down Wisconsin a peg or so.
Yeah, I mean that's who we've been fighting it out with for like the last month is Wisconsin. So they keep dropping games, and that's just only is going to keep helping Iowa State. And I mean, look at the second game on this, Illinois winning on the road in Ann Arbor 93-73. I think this is a shock, one of the most shocking matchups, especially shocking results considering with how Illinois has been up and down this year.
Yeah, and from what it seems, it looks like Illinois found like some of their like offense again. Yeah, they have four guys scoring in double digits. Trey White led the way with 19 points, and he went 3 of 4 from three. And then you had Kasparis Jacksionis and Kylan Boswell, each with 17, and Will Riley with 13. So you can see that their 3 point shooting, 14 to 37, for 38% shooting from three. They found their this was like kind of I think they found like their offense again. I think guys are fully healthy.
Hmm.
It looks like the sick like well I don't know what sickness it was, but they were dealing with an illness, and it looks like they've fought through it, and now here they are, and this is like them at full strength.
Yeah, so Illinois is looking to end the season strong and see maybe if they can improve their seeding before the Big Ten tournament starts next week.
Ah,
I want to look down and look at some Valley action. Bradley wins a big one at home against UNI. Zach Montgomery, the leading man, 13 points. As Bradley wins 73-56 at home over Northern Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, this is just gonna help a lot when it comes to seeding because at this point in time, Drake has officially won the regular season title outright. After their win against Missouri State, they won that game in overtime, 68-60. Drake did get pushed in this game. Missouri State came out swinging, but Drake was able to take care of business. Bennett starts with 23 points, and ultimately Drake is going to get they're going to get the number one overall seed, and they're looking to be one of those like mid majors that gets like an at large, perhaps like unless they win the Missouri Valley, which would get them an automatic bid. So Drake put themselves in a really good spot to make it to March.
Yeah, Drake is what's their record now? Like 27-3.
Yeah, they're 27-3 with Ben McCollum. So this is crazy how
Man,
just the first year for Ben McCollum with a bunch of guys that came from Northwest Missouri State, the D2 level, and this is what they're doing.
I mean, and he's won everywhere that he's went. Like especially just at the D2 level. Now he's winning at the D1 level, and like that's why he's probably going to be, especially this off season, especially I was definitely going to be looking at him. I still don't think that he's going to be going anywhere, but watch out for other power four, power I'll say power six programs to look at
I
him. Give
mean,
him a
yeah.
look.
I mean, the thing is with Iowa, they're looking at like there's still rumors of like them wanting to get Darian DeVries. So
Yeah.
I mean, who do you like choose if you're Iowa? Like, would you rather like if you're in Beth Goat's position, which is and she's the AD at Iowa, who do you go for? Ben McCollum or Darian DeVries?
I mean, I guess that's a question that you have to ask. You want to go with the guy that has more experience, or you want to go with that guy that's hot right now? I guess that depends on what Iowa wants to do. But since their men's program has been in shambles, and there's a lot of apathy within that program right now.
Yeah. So I mean, we talked about the Big Ten conference tournament. There is a real case where Iowa could possibly miss the Big Ten tournament because the bottom three teams of the Big Ten will miss the Big Ten tournament.
Hmm. And did you see that like an odd number of teams make it? Like it's so weird. They said 15 teams make it. I'm like, why not make it like 14 or 16? Like it makes absolutely no sense, dude. Like
Yeah,
it's so stupid.
I mean, that's what like the conference expansion does, but I mean that's weird. That is just weird. How like that breaks down because I don't. mm, I mm, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and look at the bracketology. I believe this was updated today. Yeah, or no, this was updated a
You
few days.
you have to go to like yeah, you have to go to Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah, go to Joe Lenardi's Twitter because
All
that should
right,
have like his updated notes.
all right. 1 second. We're gonna stop sharing and then let's change that.
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry, I got
Okay,
it.
sweet. Yeah.
Just some movement around here. This was from 9:46 today.
Okay.
So this is before the games with Michigan State and Michigan. Yeah, your one seeds are now Auburn, Duke, Houston, Tennessee. So Tennessee does swap with Alabama for that number one seed. Yeah, Florida out of the East as a two seed. Michigan State should continue to solidify their spot as a yes as a two seed, and Iowa State moves up to get that last two seed.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty good day for Iowa State, and their hopes are looking good. That bubble, ugh, I don't know.
Ooh, that bubble is interesting. Georgia had a huge win at Texas, so they flipped spots with Texas. So man, and then Baylor has a big chance this week to maybe do if they do some work in the tournament plus win at least a game this week. They should be able to lock in and get a tournament bid.
Hmm. Yeah. See here, if anything else with Gentleman already. Yeah, this was just the most updated, but yeah, this is from yesterday. So this is kind of the seed lines that Jalen already had prior to
Oh,
the
gotcha.
games that happened on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday. So things changed a little bit, but generally speaking, sea lines having Clemson as a five seed, Marquette and Kansas as six seeds. It's got UCLA. Okay, saying that there's a lot of things I'm reading here, but there is Drake as a 12 seed like on the bubble, so they like would be fighting for that. Akron, gotta look out for Akron. Let's see. McNeese is another solid mid-major. VCU.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it looks like Jalen already has VCU winning the A10. San Diego State out of the Mountain West. Oh, New Mexico out of the Mountain West. I think there's a lot going on. I mean, we're getting down to like tournament, like conference tournament seasons. We're getting down to
Mm-hmm.
like the really nitty gritty when it comes to like solidifying your seeds. So buckle up, buckle up. We're in March.
Yeah, it's March. Get ready for some of these conference tournaments to get have some bed stealers. Whereas it's going to be a team. It's going to be a team that you didn't expect that always goes on a run, and they win the conference tournament, and then suddenly someone make a Cinderella run. That happens every single year. But before we go, let's break down this TC or this BYU matchup.
Yeah,
If you want to share your screen, let's get into that. Break it down. Give our 3 points, and then we can head out.
yeah, yeah. We'll show that. Obviously this is gonna be another like okay. We have the standings here. This is gonna be important because this game against BYU on Tuesday is gonna essentially determine who is going to get that final double bye because the top four
Right.
teams in the Big 12 standings will get that double bye. So it looks like Texas Tech and Arizona, like Houston's obviously a lock. There's no doubt. Texas Tech, I think they're a lock, and then Arizona is a lock as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think for Iowa State and BYU, it just comes down to who between Iowa State and BYU. The winner will essentially get that final bye, double bye,
Yeah.
excuse me. So, um, this is going to be a senior like that. Yeah, 8 p.m. on ESPN two. This is going to be a senior night. Stripe Hilton. They'll probably promote on like Twitter, but yeah, I mean, a lot on the line. This feels like similar. This kind of feels similar to like last year's senior night against BYU.
Definitely.
And how crazy is that? 2 years in a row, your senior night is against BYU.
Man, it's absolutely crazy. I know. What's the name? Robbie Saunders. Was
Richie
one.
Saunders.
Richie Saunders was one of the main guys who was one of the main point getters in last year's game. He's averaging 15.8%, and he shoots 52%. So I think he's going to be a guy that we're going to have to watch out for and not let him get hot.
For sure. Well, I mean, the thing is with BYU, anybody can get hot on this team. Like their six
Sure.
game win streak, like they're just beating teams by just shooting the lights out with the basketball from the three. So I mean, the perimeter defense is going to be something huge for Iowa State. And then the size, I think Iowa State could take advantage of size because I'm looking at
Mm-hmm.
Gabe Keita here for BYU, 6'8",
Six. Oh wow.
and
Okay.
then Fuseni Traore is 6'6", and those are their
Oh yeah.
centers. Looking at their forwards here, yeah, mentioned Richie Saunders. Yeah, that's going to be the main guy to look at when it comes to their forwards. And then Dalen Hall is a familiar name because he played last year. Trevin Knell might
Mm-hmm.
be another name you recognize, and and then yeah, so a couple familiar faces from this BYU squad. But it looks like what Iowa State did against Arizona, take advantage of the physicality. I think that's going to be something that's got to be done for Iowa State in order for them to win this game.
Yeah. I think for this game, you this is a game where you tell Joshua Jefferson, okay, we're gonna give it to you, post them up, and score. Chatfield bang on the glass, and get rebounds, second chance points, and that's what you gotta do. Defend, make sure do not leave anybody open.
Yeah.
Um, so
Rotations and communication are going to
yes,
be key for the defense.
yes,
So that's going to be big, just like switches and things like that, screens, and whatnot. So I think this is this is crazy how this is just a Tuesday night. Well, this is Super Tuesday. So what a time. But oh boy, the weather is not going to be like the weather is for this day is just not great because it's going to be raining all day long here in
ugh,
Minnesota.
that
Yeah.
sort of puts a damper on the game. Uh,
It's like I'm gonna have to just show up to Hilton Coliseum in like a poncho or something.
Basically, I mean, everybody's gonna be in poncho on that. But I mean, make sure you go there too. You get there Tuesday, celebrate these seniors, send them out right, um, and be loud like you were on Saturday. I know it's raining, but get out to Hilton Coliseum and cheer on the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any final closing thoughts before we head out?
No, I think that's I've hit on everything.
All right. Well, that will call it a wrap. And once again, we thank you guys for listening to and watching the Believe in Our State podcast. A few shameless plugs to end the show. Believe in USA podcast was nominated as a top 15 sports podcast in the state of Iowa by FeedSpot. So we thank them for supporting us, and we thank everybody in the state of Iowa and across the world for joining us. Um, if you want to get in contact with us, for me, Tyler, uh, my Twitter handle is at SciTi Guy. You can DM me or just straight up tweet me. And then for Cody, here's his at Matt Campbell impersonator. If you want to talk ball with him, talk some stuff. If you talk some stuff, he'll put you in line. Um, and of course, make sure to follow us on all of our social media pages. Here are the five for you: Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. So for Tyler Carter,
If for Cody Vancililum,
this is the Believe in Iowa State podcast. Roll clones, baby.
go Cyclones.
All right.
Dude.